Hi everyone, welcome to InterviewPro. In the last video, we discussed about what are polyfills in JavaScript and how to create a polyfill for the function map in JavaScript. Today, let's talk about how to create polyfill for filter. Before that, let's understand how the filter works. I have already made a video on map, filter and reduce in JavaScript. I would recommend you to watch that before watching this video. Okay, so I have an array of 10 numbers from 1 to 10. I want to retrieve the values that are divisible by 2. Basically, I want to get even numbers from this list. So what I can do is I can call a function called filter. So this filter will take a callback. This callback takes three arguments. The first argument is the current item, or you can call it item, then the index, and then the array itself. Index and array are optional. If you want to implement logic based on index and array, you can have these parameters. So what I want to do is I want to filter, right? So I'll use item modulus 2 equals 0. So what does this function do? This filter will iterate through each and every element in this array, and whatever element matches this condition, that element will be returned. And these elements, all these filtered elements will be returned in the form of new array. So let's try to console log this new array variable to see what is returned by the filter function. Now we see 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. These are the values out of these 10 values in the array that are divisible by 2. Let's try to print the original array to see if it is modified or not. The original array is still the same. So always remember, filter returns a new array. It doesn't modify the existing array. Now that we understood how a filter function works, let's make few points here. So what did we discuss so far? First, filter takes an argument, which is nothing but callback. Callback function as argument. Second, the callback function takes three arguments. What are they? The current item and the index and the array itself. Third, the function, the filter returns a new array. Let's develop a polyfill function which satisfies these 3 points. So I will create a function that takes callback as an argument. This returns a new array. So let's create a new array here, or I'll say output, which is a empty array initially. And we return this output after doing some processing. And one more point that we forgot is filter will iterate through each and every item in the array. So to iterate, let's create a for loop. Let I equal 0, I less than. We should iterate till the end of this array, right? Or whatever array that calls this method. So that array will be represented by this keyword, this dot length. I plus plus. So what does this array return? It returns the filtered values. So let's check if the callback function returns true for these elements or not. So callback of this of I, which is the current element, and index, which is represented by I, and then the array itself. So if this condition is satisfied, that means the element at this index is part of our output, right? So let's push it to output array, this of I. Finally, we are returning this output. Now, how do we access this polyfill? We can make it available in the prototype object. So, prototype, and the object for arrays is this one, array, and array.prototype dot give your own name. I'll say my filter, and assign it to this function with this function. Now let's apply the same piece of code but using our polyfill. Here instead of filter, I'll say my filter, and let's console log this. I don't want to display array here, and let's remove it. Now if I call this function, we still receive the same output. Now let's change the condition. Let's try to retrieve the elements which are divisible by 3. Now we get another output. So this callback function can be anything. You can implement any logic. Any logic will be passed as the callback parameter to this my filter, and this will be applied on each and every item of this array. If the condition is satisfied, it will be added to our output. Finally, we are returning that output. So this is how you create a polyfill for filter. I hope the concept is clear. If you like the content, please like, share and subscribe to InterviewPro. Thank you.